Hello, everybody. You're here with Claro Beauty with your host, Claudia Lara. Thank you very much for tuning in and for watching. Here I am doing a little update. I was filming, creating this look in different videos, and it's interesting because it was hard for me to not talk about all the updates and what's been going on and everything. But I wanted to do it once I have a full face of makeup, of course. I think it's a kind of a respectful way to greet you. So, hello. And please subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so. And please ring the bell in the right hand corner so you know when I upload new videos. Okay, let's move on. So, hi, how are you? I miss you all terribly, and I miss filming, and I miss having things organized in a certain way. Now, don't get me wrong, I finished unpacking, and I have all these videos on decluttering, packing, unpacking, organizing, labeling, because I put some. Let me just show you one. It'll be coming, but of course, I haven't really edit, but I created all these labels for my collection and things like that. Hopefully eventually it will all come and I can show you at least little bits of pieces, right? But it's something nice to have your setup, and then you just come in and you share, and then you put things away, and it looks all nice and neatly. It's kind of like when you're cooking, that you have a clean kitchen, and then you sort of come, and it's all perfection steps, and then after you just clean up, put everything away, and you have the beautiful cake or meal. It's a good feeling. It's a great feeling, at least for me. And I think as women, we get that great feeling as we grow older because we have things organized and in such a way that we like it, that we know how it works, etc. However, and this is why I bring all this up, in my life right now, it's not at all that easy, right, about what I just described. It's kind of not the opposite, but sort of in the middle. And what do I mean? Actually, I spoke to somebody that does Indian astrology. I don't remember the name of the type of astrology. But he said, after hearing my date, he said that my year was going to go as if I was riding an elephant. And I'm like, well, that's an interesting metaphor. And I said, riding an elephant? Why is that? And he said, because you're on top of it and it's a bumpy ride. And it's like, and all you have to do is make sure you don't fall. I'm like, great. And so I thought, what does that mean? Well, it seems that now I know what that means, and that's how it feels. So I just wanted to share that. The reason I wanted to share that is because sometimes in social media, and this is a topic that we all been talking about, etc., that it might not look real, or that the YouTuber only shows their best side of things, and YouTubers have talk about this. They say my life is not necessarily what you see in camera, and then this thing about protecting your privacy and then your image in YouTube, and there's all these topics, right? Well, it's interesting in my life because when I was doing, kind of therapeutic work or, spiritual teachings or, talking about how to personal growth, personal empowerment, things of that nature. One of my biggest struggles or challenges was to be myself in it. And what I mean by that, if you've seen my background a little bit, when I was in corporate, you had to go to work and present yourself professionally, which meant not your whole personal life. That was stayed at home. You had to be in a certain purpose and performance and presentation. Image was part of it. But then when I went to the spiritual world or this personal growth, it was about being at peace, a balance, this stability, this loving, especially when you were helping others. And but same as YouTubers, there was this whole conversation about image versus truthfulness, meaning about what you present versus the whole of you, right? Your struggles, your falls, when you're not well. And they describe some people going into spiritual bypass, which means when you're all goodness and you believe you're all goodness and lightness and higher self and all of that. There's a whole conversation about the abuses that happen for that. But what I'm seeing in all of this thread and why I'm bringing it up has to do with image versus reality, right? Who you present yourself versus your true fullness of coloring of life. And so now that I'm doing YouTube, it has a little bit tone of that. Now I'm struggling with it because in this holotherapeutic thing, that was my challenge that I described. I feel I approach it and got to where I wanted to be, which was I could appear and help, but at the same time, you could see that I had my own struggles and my own, challenges, and that I was not all good, but not all bad. You look for the balance of it all, and sometimes you are balanced and sometimes you're not. But what I mean is the authenticity, that when I appear, I was, at least to the best of my awareness, knowledge, was to be authentic in the moment. And now I'm feeling the same thing. But we're talking about makeup. So, I want to be authentic, but also I don't want to drain you with what's going on in my life, right? So there's this combination of image and authenticity and truthful. And so what I guess I want to get to is I want to show you the bumpy ride, the elephant ride as well. And this is important to me because this is what womanhood, this is what we go through life. So with that, yes, I'm not there and everything is organized, like the kitchen metaphor that I did. Everything is organized, even though here, I'll show you a video. Everything is organized here. But in my life, I'm having to do many hats, many. And that has to do with caring of my parents. They're divorced, so it's like two set with my mother and my stepdad and my brother and my dad and my brother, which is disabled. So there's caring of them in many different ways: administrative, financial, emotional, I would say administrative, but it is the everyday, everything is updated at home, everything is maintained, fixed, upgraded. There's so much. And now it is one house, then the other, and then mine, which I just moved. And this is not my permanent home, so you want to remodel but not, you want to fix or organize but not, you don't want to spend all the money on something. I'm not going to be here. So it seems a lot, girls and boys, and so I just want you to know. And then there's my passion for this channel. In a logical, you would say put that to the side and just go with everything else, but we're not just logical people. I'm emotional, and I have passion and creativity, and I want to be here and share with you all and communicate. So that's just a little update of what's going on and why I continue to show up here and will continue to show up. And now I do want to say a big thanks to all of you. There's several of you that have reached out, make sure that I'm okay, or that you miss, and all your comments, when I say I haven't filmed for a while, or please wait for me, and oh my God, you've been like so supportive. You're like, we'll be here when you're done, don't worry. You don't understand that. And I was like, oh, okay. So those do matter. So I do feel you. So I want to say a big thanks on that and all the feedback you had given me. So on that note, and I'll tell you a little bit about my missing dog. I lost my dog. It was a whole shocking trauma. But hold on a second. Let me just finish my thought on this. There's one of you which I care, Kate, and she's a subscriber and she always comments. So thank you, from Australia. And she made a comment on one of my videos from a while back, and it was a playing with makeup sort of video. And she said she misses that format, or those very chatty videos, but playing with makeup. And that was nice because it reminded me of those videos. And so I thought, you know what? I guess that it will be part of my content. So there will be, and this is why I haven't done several of them lately or recently. Because I usually like those videos after I show you some of the new items I get. Because I like to review the new items for you. That's important to me. And I like it because I learn also for me. And so because I'm so behind in showing you the new items and reviewing them, I haven't done the playing with makeup ones. But I will be doing those as well. I'm now rationalizing and saying those are the two types of video that I do. But I still have several products that I want to show you because I got them. They're new, and they also help me grow my channel, because when people search for the product, even though I'm late to the party, because I'm not one of the first ones to review them, but that's how later on people still look and find my videos. So I think those are good. They're good for that, and they're good because I really have a fun time doing them and because I learned from it. So those will be, yes, probably always there. I mean, even if I told myself I was not going to be a big buyer year, I was not going to buy as much, I'm still quite a buying, right? Well, because I hear about them in YouTube and I'm like, I want him. And because I'm curious and I like the new, right? The new coming up on something I love. So those will still continue. I will be doing the playing with makeup ones for sure, where I mix and, whatever brands I have in my collection. But there's another reason I haven't done quite a bit of those. Those usually are longer videos and they take forever to upload. What I have found in YouTube is a 20-minute video uploads within the day. A 40-minute video, oh my God, sometimes it takes 3 to 4 days. And that frustrates the hell out of me. I'm sorry for my language. It frustrates me because it's not about planning, which I don't do much of. But even if I did, I'm Aries by horoscope. That's not my excuse, but it is my excuse. But it's not my excuse. But all right, I'm impatient. I can be very patient for certain things. Like if I'm undoing a knot of cables, I know, what a weird example. But if I'm doing that, oh my God, you better believe most people are like, that's it, I don't have patience for this. And me, I can be there until I undo the nut. I'm that. So there's certain things that I have patience for, but there's others that I don't. And when I film something and I want to share it with you, I do feel impatience. Even if I had others, because this is what happens to me. When I film and I don't share it right away, I feel it's old material, even though it's not necessarily. But I feel that time has passed. And I guess what I'm talking about has passed. So for me, it's that important to upload immediately. For example, this video. And so that's why I kind of stayed away of those 40-minute chatty play with makeup sort of video that I started with. But I do enjoy them and I will bring them back in some way. So far, the way I've been filming, if you have noticed, probably you have, is I sit one day for several hours. So I film in stages my face and I'm reviewing product And so I create like 4 or 5 videos at once. And then throughout the week, I edit and add the thing and blah, blah, blah. But that's useful because that way I can dedicate the time to filming instead of every day looking for that time. So just so you know, it's an update, right? So I guess in summary, that will be coming up. The playing with makeup, the review of items, which I like to keep it short and one at a time or two. And then of course I'm still missing. I want to go by brand. I have so many, and all the quads that I have, the eyeshadows and all the, so that will also be coming up. Okay, finally, the other topic. I did wanted to share it because I share a little bit, but it was traumatic for me, very traumatic. So I have 3 dogs and 2 cats. If you've been with me, you know this. And I have 2 small Chihuahua mixed dogs and 1 large one, which is Great Pyrenees. One of the Chihuahua gets along perfect. The other Chihuahua, oh my God, he's always creating trouble with the big one. So and he doesn't have a great bladder. I know might be too much information for you, but so first thing in the morning, he has to go outside, and then that means everybody has to go outside. Once one wakes up, everybody wakes up. So I decided, since I was going to go and visit my dad, to take that one. And that will make it a lot easier for my husband to care of the other 2 dogs and the cats. But because the other 2 dogs, you can take them out a little later in the morning. They don't fight with each other about the bone, about the food, about anything. They respect their spaces. They're lovely. So I took the troublemaker. And I thought he was going to enjoy it. Having mom for him, and now of everything he always wants, absolutely. I was so excited. I found out it was sort of a mistake. He kind of had a very hard time, miss the family and all the other ones tremendously, so he kind of got depressed. And then I got there, and one of the times I left the home and left him with my brother. And I think he felt I was just leaving him there or something, because he would never have left. I mean, I didn't have to leash him. He's 12 years old. He's been with me forever. But he had a hard time there, and my brother opened the door and he ran away. By the time I arrived, I was devastating. I felt like, I don't know if you heard this terminology in Mexico, La Llorona. There's not even a movie about it. But La Llorona is this woman with a veil that used to be all night crying out for her children. This is the whole story. That's how I felt. I went out walking, from 10 to 12, sometimes 1 a.m., 2 a.m. Next morning from 4:30, 5. I mean, just thinking the times that I know he sort of wakes up, because it was so cold. And yes, people reassure me the dogs are smart and they don't freeze and they have different temperature things, but I did not know if that was his case. We come from Florida. He's never been cold in his life. And now he was outside in the freezing cold. Freezing. It was, I don't remember the temperature at this moment because I seen in centigrades, but it was below 0. And that's my dog. And so that first night was very hard on me, probably on him too. And I say probably because 48 hours later, and I did post it everywhere, Facebook, Instagram, Nextdoor, Ring. I mean, I was surprised at how fast I was able to discover how to post, how to open the applications, how to do everything. I was amazed. If I can do that with this YouTube channel and how fast I was with technology, I think I would be doing pretty good. Fast. Well, I'm so thankful because with help of people that did message and said, I've seen him over here. I think I saw him over here, which was 3 miles away. I would never have looked in that area ever. But because of them, I started driving around over there. And so I did find him. I did find him. And why I say probably is because he smelled nice and his breath smelled like dog treats. So either somebody thankfully picked him up and put him inside and warmed him up for the 2 nights or for one of the nights or for half of the night. I don't know. But he looked taken care of. I looked like a mess. He looked great. And so I don't know what happened to him those 2 days or 2 nights, but he did not look like he had suffered. Not even a stain, not even an oil stain from under a car or a tire. He looked prestige. He even smelled good. The only thing he had was his voice was almost gone, like. So I have a feeling, given the drama queen that he is, a troublemaker, that if somebody put him inside, he did not stop whining and crying and screaming all night, because that's him when I'm not around. So I'm very thankful for those that took care of him if that happened. But I feel bad for the nightmare that could have been with my little one. Anyhow, I don't want to go on and on. I just wanted to tell you that there was a happy reunion. But it was still shocking to my system. It's amazing how much you love these animals. And I know for some people, I mean, my mom and my dad were already, well, thank him for the years he was with you and all of this. And I was like, you can't give up that quickly, put him like he's gone for good. I mean, it was traumatic for me. And I'm not shaking very easy, but I was shaking up. Of course, there's a lot more. I was with my dad, my brother, a lot other things were going on also, but oh my God. And so now with Good and Found, Good and Sound, we all reunited here at home. He is happy to be home, even though he fights with the big one all the time. I think he missed that, the fighting with the big one. He did not enjoy a one-on-one with Mama. He did not enjoy where I went. And so I don't think I will take him alone again. So all of that was happening. And so in short, I could not had sit down and film, even though I had taken some stuff to film in natural light and all of these things. Anyhow, all right, there you have it. I don't know if you're interested in all this. But I said I would share, so I'm sharing. And back to business. So I think I'm going to wrap it up here. Thank you very much for staying with me. And please know that I'll try my best to share with you authentically. And I do follow a little purpose on that. Not so much about poor me or what's going on in my life. I think it's more about showing the real life of a woman, which is me, at a midlife woman. And so not only about how to apply makeup and all of this, which I truly enjoy, you truly enjoy. I don't find it just superficial. I actually like quite a bit to be ramped up, to feel good, to play with color. I think it's part of an art form. And I think we all collectors and we all that love makeup understand that part of why we are so into makeup. So not only about makeup, but I do want to share a little bit of the ups and downs that we as women go through without going into, my depressed moments and my cry moments, because who wants to see that? But to know that those do come and go. And so today I'm in good spirits. So today I'm able to talk about all this, to share and to tie it all up together. So that's it for today. Please, last video of updates, a lot of you share where were you from and how you feel about the place that you live, which I really enjoyed. So let me know how this year is for you, the year of the rabbit, if you're into Chinese horoscope. which is supposed to be abundance, luck, and all these nice things. But for me, is a ride on top of the elephant. So how is it for you? How is it for you? I know some of you have comments like being a grandma for the very first time, and also some family challenges. So let me know how you feel about those family challenges, up or down, parents or children. By the way, my sister, who is 24 years younger than me, just getting married. So that's also in the going on, the dress, the plans, and I'm very involved in that too. So that creates also, you have to invest your time and your attention and researching and looking for the hotel, for the place, so it's a lot. It's a lot. This mid age is a lot, because you're not only doing it for you. Now it involves a lot of more people that you're doing it for, happily, and because you can, if you can. But it's different as the 20s and 30s, that it was more about, first about you, and then about you finding your place in life. But the 50s, I find, is now you sort of know those things, sort of, because it changes. But now you have to do for the others quite a bit. My dog is calling. So I'll see you next time. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so. Please ring the bell if you haven't done so when you know I upload new videos. I'll see you next time. Bye!